Good morning. Just read 1 Timothy chapter 4. And this chapter, Paul's giving Timothy some advice about being a pastor. And Paul says, he begins off by talking about the end times. He says, in the latter times, some shall depart from the faith. Giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. And I think we see that today. That started actually a long time ago. You've got like the different religious entities now, like the Jehovah's Witness and the Latter-day Saints and the Mormons. And he says they're speaking lies and hypocrisy, and their conscience is seared with a hot iron. That has to sting if you ever read that and you realize you're one of those people. But his advice is, if they tell you things like you can't marry, you can't have meat, it's all sanctified by God. He's basically telling him, hey, stick to the doctrine, stick to the Bible, stick to God's word. Do those things that are right with God. And then he says, he gives him this great advice. He says, refuse the profane and old wives' fables and exercise thyself rather unto godliness. Don't listen to these old wives' tales. Don't listen to all these things that people are telling. I'm thinking of the theory of evolution. Don't listen to that. Just follow God. Follow what he's leading you to do. And in verse 12, he says, let no man despise thy youth. And I'm thinking, well, hey, I work with the youth group. I don't despise children. I don't despise the youth. But he could also be saying, don't let people despise how young you are, but instead just show them the example of how you should live in the Word. It says in charity and spirit and faith and in purity. Just live a good example and people will accept you even if you are younger than the older generation. And he just exhorts them to be godly, take heed to the doctrine, and just to continue. And that's a powerful example. Just encouraging another young believer to stick with it and to continue. Paul was a great mentor to Timothy, I'm seeing. I'm thankful for the mentors that I have. They've given me that example to follow as well. So, great chapter. Just loved every word.